All right, folks, welcome back. This is Matt Canizaro live from Huntsville Lanes in Huntsville, Texas. We're at the second annual track cat clash brought to you by Sam Houston State University. This is the second part of our day 2 coverage of this 3-day event. Today is 5 traditional team games. This is games 3, 4, and 5 of the event. After the conclusion of today's 5 games, total pinfall will determine the seeding for tomorrow's bracket play. So we'll have all that and much more. Details, standings, everything coming right up here. Right now we're watching Stephen F. Austin against Tulane and St. Francis against Texas Southern. So sit tight, enjoy, and we'll have all kinds of details for you. Games 3, 4, and 5 coming right up. We do appreciate everybody joining us. Hopefully everybody finds their way back into this live stream. You can find us today on youtube.com/BowlTV or through our Facebook page, Sport of Bowling USBC. This link is not active on bowl.com today, so please let everybody know where to find it, how to find it, and we'll have all the commentary and updated standings for you as the day progresses. So sit tight and enjoy. Hello everybody, and thanks for joining us here for Game 3 of the track cat clash here in Huntsville Lanes today. We do have some updated standings after yesterday's Baker competition and today's first two games. It appears that Vanderbilt is bowling on a completely different lane condition in another bowling center. They've shot 11-16 and 11-56 so far today. About 130 pins better than any other team in game number 2 today. And Vanderbilt on top by 209 pins over Sam Houston State, the host. Sam Houston still undefeated at 7-0, but now playing catch-up to Vanderbilt. Nebraska in third, 284 pins behind Vanderbilt. Fourth, Wisconsin Whitewater. Fifth, Arkansas State. Valparaiso in sixth, Long Island University, Stephen F. Austin, Monmouth, St. Francis, Louisiana Tech, University of Alabama Birmingham, Texas Southern, Prairie View A&M, Tulane, and Grambling State rounding out the top 16. Once again, Vanderbilt on top and pulling ahead of the field. Two huge games today. They came into the day tied for second. Now they're up in the lead by 209 pins over Sam Houston State, so we'll keep an eye on them, obviously, throughout the rest of the day. We're going to see Vanderbilt next game on our featured pair. They're going to take on Tulane. Right now, though, it's Stephen F. Austin against Tulane and St. Francis and Texas Southern. So enjoy, and we'll be here to call it as it happens. This is Matt Cannizzaro for USBC. question in the chat room. How many teams are at this event? We have 16 teams in the field here at the Cat Clash this year. And we've got 2 featured pairs, lanes 9 and 10, 11 and 12 here at Huntsville Lanes. All 16 teams bowled 20 Baker games yesterday, and they're bowling 5 team games today. And total pinfall will determine the seedings for tomorrow's bracket competition. Right now we're watching Stephen F. Austin and Tulane on the left, and St. Francis, Texas Southern on the right. This Tulane team led by Haley Veach. She is from England, a past member of their youth and adult national team. She bowled at Weber International, so she certainly knows what's going on. We mentioned that yesterday. A talented player ready to lead this young team. Currently, they are struggling. The Green Wave in 15th place. But it's just their second season. So it's all a work in progress, as many of these teams do know. A few powerhouses in the field. Vanderbilt, Nebraska. Up-and-comer Sam Houston State, Arkansas State, Wisconsin Whitewater. So a pretty diverse field. Certainly a great learning opportunity. And the opportunity to bowl in a variety of different formats. As we said yesterday with Baker competition, each player on the team bowls 2 frames each game. And today is traditional team games where you bowl the whole game. And then tomorrow, a bracket play, best of 7. So a little bit of everything, and every match matters here. Counts towards their overall season standings, as the pinfall counts towards their finish here at the Cat Clash. So pretty simple and good variety, easy to understand, and a lot of fun for the crowd, especially a lot of parents on hand. And we appreciate everybody joining us remotely through Bowl TV. For those of you football fans out there watching our live stream today, Oklahoma leads TCU 14-7 at halftime. That is the big game going on right now. Nothing bigger than the Cat Clash, of course, is here at Huntsville Lanes. Vanderbilt, the hot team right now, on top by more than 200 pins. Having a spectacular day so far through 2 games. They'll be on our featured pair coming up shortly. freshman Amanda Fry leading that team, shooting 290, 245 today. All right, 4 frames in the books here in game number 3. St. Francis with a slim lead over Texas Southern. And Tulane and Stephen F. Austin pretty tight here. They're in the 5th. Nice washout pickup for St. Francis there on lane 11. Maintain their lead. The Terriers. Big Ten championship football game on tonight. Nebraska and Wisconsin. Big playoff game here in Huntsville as well. But right now it's all about bowling. Chelsea King with a spare for Stephen F. Austin. Every time it's O Canada. Chelsea hails from Ontario. We're waiting for a respot here on lane 11 for St. Francis. Stephen F. Austin holding to a slim lead over Tulane after 6. All right, we're through 5 frames here. There's a look at the scoreboard, St. Francis and TSU. St. Francis in control. Get back to the action now. Keep our eye on Stephen F. Austin, NC Lane. It's a close match. Only 10 pins separates the two teams after 7 frames. We'll take a look at that scoreboard here in just a couple minutes. Stephen F. Austin not too far away from Huntsville. A lot of Lumberjack fans in the building today. SFA currently in 8th place. 665 pins behind Vanderbilt. The Lady Jacks are 3-4 on the weekend. Tulane just 1-6 and sitting in 15th place. Those of you who might just be checking in, this is game 3 of the second day of competition at the Track Cat Klash in Huntsville, Texas. Matt Canizaro live for USBC. You're watching Stephen F. Austin take on Tulane and St. Francis against Texas Southern. Just a minute, we'll take a look at the scoreboard. Tulane pulling ahead of Stephen F. Austin. The Green Wave struggling to establish themselves in just their second year. And the Lady Jacks from Stephen F. Austin, all but two from Texas, so they're a homegrown team. These other teams, players from all over the country, all over the world even. We saw the Lady Jacks here last year. We saw them at the International Training and Research Center as well for another early season collegiate event. A lot happening at the ITRC, especially involving these young players. We have the high school combine in the late summer. Gave high school bowlers the opportunity to come out and to display their skills for the collegiate coaches. Very helpful in the whole recruiting process. Bowling, of course, not a big money program at the college level, but that gave all the coaches the opportunity to come and see the great talent in one place. Many bowlers took advantage of that chance to come out and document their skills, both on the lanes, off the lanes, in the classroom. To see what kind of physical condition they're in, both in general and as bowlers. Spare shooting, strike percentage, you name it. Everything was measured. And that way, all of those young bowlers can measure themselves against other bowlers of equal ages. And it certainly helps the coaches when it's time to recruit a little bit and look at the future of their programs. A lot of teams represented during that week at the ITRC. I'm sure that's going to happen again. Keep an eye on bowl.com for details. Again, that was in August of this recent year, so great things happening there. Of course, ITRC also the home to Team USA, Junior Team USA. Handful of former Junior Team USA players in this building right now. So it's all a stepping stone, of course. Youth bowling, high school bowling, collegiate bowling, junior gold. Many of the great PBA stars you're going to see on TV in the next couple weeks made it through the collegiate ranks as well. And now with technology, we're able to bring you all of these great events. I have to say, as a high school student getting ready to go to college, I did not know anything about college bowling until I got there. Had an amazing experience, wouldn't change it for anything. But it would have been nice to know more or to have the opportunity to watch events like this and learn more before heading out there. Appreciate everybody who's joining us today to do so and to support your favorite teams. Question in the chat room about UAB, another up-and-coming program. The Blazers, University of Alabama, Birmingham, led by Michelle Cruz, former Junior Team USA member, former standout at the University of Central Florida. It's just the second season for her and her team, and they are currently in 12th place, 4-3 on the weekend. And as she gets settled into that program, no doubt she'll be able to bring in some talent. Yeah, a lot of these teams still just very young as far as their history. Certainly not the storied programs like Nebraska, but perhaps the history-making teams of the future. Looks like Vanderbilt's Amanda Fry still has the hot hand. I want to say she shot 235 this game. She's got to be the front runner for the MVP honors here so far today. 290, 245, 235, I believe, as she sets the pace for that Commodore team. All right, so we're in our 9th frame here of game number 3. Stephen F. Austin uses a big 10th frame to pull back ahead of Tulane. We'll have a look at the scoreboard here as this frame concludes. Nicole Parkhurst with a spare for the Lady Jacks. All right, so here's a look at the scoreboard. Not sure if you can see that too well. But 9 frames in the books for SFA and Tulane. It's going to come down to the 10th frame. Be back to the action now. So 20 pins separate these two teams, SFA and Tulane, in the 10th frame. Right now we're in game 3 of 5. And the schedule for the rest of the day on lanes 9 and 10, we're going to see Arkansas State and St. Francis, followed by Whitewater and Long Island. And on 11 and 12, we're going to see tournament leading Vanderbilt against Tulane, and then Stephen F. Austin on Valparaiso. And tomorrow we'll get into our bracket competition. A long weekend for these players. 20 Baker games yesterday, 5 team games today. And they're doing their best to keep their energy levels up. It's you can see it, dragging. It's been a few hours. We got kicked off with practice today at 9 a.m. Still going strong here at 1 o'clock. Texas Southern trying to mount a late comeback here against St. Francis of New York. Difference of about 60 at this point, but 2 strikes on the board for Texas Southern. Make that 3 in a row for the Tigers as the near local crowd goes wild. Stephen F. Austin fans in the chat room. The Lady Jacks trying to pull this one out against Tulane. Tulane's going to post the number to beat as they'll get done first. Like Chelsea King stepping up for the Lady Jacks, the sophomore from Canada. Texas Southern with 4 strikes out of 5 players to inch their way back. Vanderbilt shot 1078 that game. A little bit off pace for the day so far. There's Chelsea King wrapping things up for Stephen F. Austin. And Tulane is done. 865 is the number. 2 bowlers left. Here's what it looks like. Get you back to the action. Looks like a split for, I believe that's Crawford. So, big win here, it looks like, on the horizon for Tulane. Their second of the weekend. St. Francis still on top of Texas Southern. It's a rally for Texas Southern as they close the gap. 7 strikes in the last 9 shots for the Tigers. It's 8:43 for Stephen F. Austin. And another strike for Texas Southern. So here's our final look at the scoreboard. Tulane comes away with a victory. So back to the action. Oh, the Texas Southern Tigers are being challenged to strike out in the 10th frame. Every one of them strikes out. Wonder what the parents have in store for them. This match a close one in the 10th frame. And it ends already on the first shot. She leaves the 9 pin. You can't throw it any better than that. Great effort. Game 3 here at the Track Cat Clash. Coming to a close. 2 more games on the schedule for this afternoon. And then we're back with you tomorrow at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central for bracket play. Best 4 out of 7 Baker matches. Looking forward to that. That 4 match, awfully exciting. St. Francis keeping the pressure on Texas Southern. But Texas Southern having a good time here. That's what it's all about. Arkansas State coming our way. We're going to take on St. Francis, and then we'll see Vanderbilt again against Tulane. St. Francis holding steady here. Staying clean in the 10th and maintaining the lead.
Now y'all gonna treat me to dinner tonight.
So 10th frame not going so well for Texas Southern. St. Francis gonna stay on top. Well, it was exciting there for a minute. The crowd certainly got into it. Every match, of course, very important. All right, so we had some drama there for a couple minutes, but everything is now calm. St. Francis will defeat Texas Southern and Tulane over Stephen F. Austin.
What I tell you? What I mean? Look, you there? See what it's like.
Things getting quiet. We are the last pair once again. Wrapping up game number 3. 2 games to go here.
There's a strike ball right there.
Here we go, final shots, game 3. Track Cat Clash. St. Francis over Texas Southern. .831 for Texas Southern. .915 for St. Francis, and that'll do it. So we'll be right back with you in a couple of minutes for game number 4. Stay tuned.
start eating them, I'll just like, oh. That's what happens. I start eating and I'm done.
All right, folks, we are back. This is game 4 of 5 traditional team games happening today at the 2nd annual Track Cat Clash here in Huntsville, Texas, hosted by Sam Houston State University. The defending champion Bearcats are down at the far end of the bowling center right now, but we have 2 great matches for you. We've got Arkansas State taking on St. Francis, and tournament leading Vanderbilt taking on Tulane. These teams are bowling on a modified NCAA pattern. It's 38 feet and has proven to be challenging for some. A little bit less challenging for other teams. Vanderbilt having a great day today. And we'll have those standings for you in just a few minutes. Game 3 just concluded, so as soon as those come out, we'll get you up to date. And we are now joined by a real, true life former Arkansas State star. And now that makes me the 2nd best left-hander sitting in this live stream booth, Emily Troutman, who now works for USBC. She's in the research and specs area of the organization, and all of that made possible through college bowling. Emily, how are you today?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm all right, living the dream here, watching some collegiate bowling.
Oh, yeah.
Nice of you to drive down from Arlington to watch your former teammates.
Oh, always. I'm really excited to see them bowl. They're doing pretty well.
I know you were watching online a little bit yesterday. Don't want Neil Stremble to hear about that too much, but you might have had it on in the background as the Red Wolves were on the broadcast. What do you think? It's a little different being on the other side of things.
It's definitely a lot different, a lot less control. It's always nice when you're bowling, you can have a little bit of control at least over your game, but here it's complete spectator. You just got to cheer them on, hope they do well.
Well, is it hard to sit back and watch after having been out there for your career and you want to be out there throwing the shots?
Yeah, I was bowling for 5 years with the team, so now it's really hard to be a spectator, not be able to go up there and cheer and give high fives after every shot. Definitely a lot different.
Now, you guys excelled at this event last year, ended up 2nd overall.
Yep.
Got shut out in the title match to the host team, the Bearcats.
Yep.
Probably not the way you wanted that event to end, but
nope.
I imagine a pretty good experience overall.
Yeah, it was a good tournament. I think we started the last day with high pin count and just ended up not doing so well in the very last match. I think we won the match before it, the 2 matches before it, but the last match just didn't go our way.
Well, we talked to Dana Galgansky yesterday a little bit about the unique formats that you guys see in NCAA bowling. And my experience, of course, only with the club side of things and one trip to the intercollegiate team championships back many, many years ago. I'm not sure which playground you were playing on at the time, but that was back in the 1990s.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
So NCAA format's a little bit different. It's a bit of a hectic weekend here for these teams and a long weekend. They were in here Friday morning, and 20 Baker games consecutive through the day, 5 4-game matches. A lot of bowling. You only bowl 2 frames every game, but the day seems to go on. The energy seems to be a lot higher during that event. Talk about that compared to today's format, which we'll get into next.
Yeah, Baker format's a lot of teamwork. It's a lot of one after the other being able to put a game together. It's very spare-based, very clean frames, because it's one game. It's not 5 like today. The biggest factor is really just staying together as a team, keeping the energy up, and that's the hard thing. Is for us is we don't get a break during the middle of the day. It's you do your entire day, you stand on your feet for your 6 hours, and then you get to go home. So I've never been really to many club bowling tournaments, but I feel like I think I've seen that they get a break in the middle of the day, they cut it and re-oil.
Well, back in my day, things were a little bit different.
Back in the day.
You know, we used to walk to school barefoot uphill in the snow, carrying our bowling balls. We didn't have wheels on our bags.
Miles.
Yeah. You know, things were a little bit different. Baker was still around, but it wasn't as prominent as it is maybe today.
Yeah.
We had a lot more traditional games. It wasn't until I was on my way out of the collegiate ranks that sectionals and nationals went to all Baker.
Yeah.
But the variety of the format at this event, and I'm sure other NCAA events where you kind of mix it up. You know, Baker the first day, team games the second day, and then a Baker bracket the third day. So, I mean, you always have to be on your toes.
Exactly.
Number one. And number two, every match is equally important because it all counts towards your overall season standings, which is something that we did not have to worry about or deal with during our time.
Yep. I mean, you try to focus on the tournament as itself or the day as itself, having a good day, but you do have to keep in the back of your mind for nationals is your total win-loss record and your quality of wins and things like that.
So now, is it hard to focus on one or the other? I mean, you're ultimately here to win the Cat Clash, I would think.
Yes.
But you're looking at the big picture too, making it to nationals and being a part of that.
I mean, I guess for our team, really all I can speak for is we focused on trying to win every tournament, focusing on that tournament alone, and then the overall season would come our way. The biggest thing with bowling, I mean, like other sports, you can do one game and determine a winner, but here bowling is a longer period. You need more games. You need more frames to see who the winner is, who's the better bowler. And so we focus on tournament to tournament, but overall the season, we usually feel that the better teams will come out.
Well, now you've been here for much of the day. You know, what have you seen so far? Not just from your team, but overall.
The excitement level is definitely up there, and that's they keep it all the time. I mean, our team cheers, but we've never been a big cheering team. But yeah, everybody's bowling really well. The shots a lot more snappy, a lot less oil. It seems like a lot more friction being created than last year, which is creating a lot more ball changes than usually see.
Well, we talked a lot about the amount of equipment here. Now, how many balls did you guys tend to travel with a piece?
We usually took 6, a spare ball and then 5 strike balls. Nationals, some of us took 8, depending on, because at nationals we weren't really sure how they would play, things like that. But normal tournaments, you know what the pattern is a week before, so you can practice a little bit and see where you want to go with it.
So it looks like 7 or 8 players for most teams, and so a lot of versatility there, a lot of versatility in the equipment.
A lot of balls.
A lot of changes that need to be made kind of on the fly, too. That was the big thing. I mean, you go so many frames without actually bowling, and then all of a sudden it's your turn, and you have to keep an eye on what's happening. And then for you being left-handed, what kind of challenges did you encounter there?
Well, see, I was lucky my last year is we had 3 lefties. So it could be at times if we were bowling maybe like Central Missouri, who does also have a lot of lefties, there could be more lefties on the lane than righties. So that was awesome. But usually we were able to play off one of my teammates who's about to actually bowl right now. She and me, we both play very similar lines, so we could work off of each other like the righties do. It definitely helped a lot more than being on your own, which was what I did the first couple years. And it was just try and wing it. Hopefully the pattern hasn't changed any from other teams or anything like that.
Well, we're talking about left-handers. Let's talk about Vanderbilt freshman Amanda Fry, who started the day on this pair with a 290 game.
Wow.
And then opened her very next game with the front 7, I believe. So she had 18 strikes in a row at one point. And with 240 that game and then 230 in game 3. Looks like she's got a double here in game 4. What do you know about her, and what have you seen so far today?
We actually just played them, and I was watching her, and she has a lot of energy. She throws the ball really well, very consistent. I mean, she had one open, and it was a split, and it was just bad luck, really, anything. She was throwing the ball really well. She had a lot of energy, and their coach was talking to me, and he's like, yeah, she always has that energy, even in practices, even in anything. And I just said, I was like, I'm going to need a third nap for that kind of energy to have all the time. But that's fantastic that she's so into it at all points of the game.
Well, now Vanderbilt, we know, a powerhouse in the NCAA realm since all of that came about, and a team you'd expect to be leading here, perhaps. Of course, Nebraska, a perennial powerhouse in all of college bowling.
Yep.
NCAA and at the club level. Two teams that you'd expect, you'd fear coming in. I don't know, like maybe you look up to a little bit. And then now let's talk about the Arkansas State team. You know, not the well-known, but now how do you guys kind of handle that, I guess, I don't know, coming in as not the
most well-known.
Not the most well-known, the up-and-comers maybe?
Exactly. I mean, my freshman year, which was 5 years ago, it was our first nationals, and we were the 8th team to get in. So we were the last team to make it. And from then on, we've slowly worked our way up. I mean, last year we were ranked first going into nationals. I mean, we have the team. It's just, again, we need to get our name out there. Vanderbilt, Nebraska, fantastic teams. Have the basis there, have the name. And so, I mean, when I was young, I mean, the first couple of years, yes, you feared them. It was, oh, man, we're bowling them now. Hopefully we bowl good games. Now it's really, we expect it of ourselves to bowl fantastic against them.
So what does it take for a young program to put the pieces together? I mean, to have all the tools, they're backed by the schools. It's just a matter of how to make that happen. I mean, how did you guys do it?
It's bringing in good players, having a good teammates, everything like that, good energy amongst the team, and then also good coaching is a big factor. I mean, you need somebody who can bring your game up the next level or the next couple levels and allow you to understand bowling as a whole rather than just your personal game, helping you with lane play, things like that. I mean, every team that is good knows how to play the lanes, knows when they make a bad shot, and knows how to pick up spares. So to be that next level is you really need to get there. You need to understand your game better than most.
All right, now just a few minutes ago I was talking about the high school combine that we have at the ITRC and kind of how that's a lead into college bowling and how that gives the coaches the opportunity to see the players a chance to show off their skills in front of the coaches and to get ranked against other players of their similar ages.
Yeah.
College bowling, of course, a stepping stone both for you and I professionally. I mean, we ended up with pretty good jobs, I would think,
I love my job.
because of bowling.
Yep.
But at the same time, you know, it helped you to an education as well. Can you just talk about just the hype of college bowling and the fact that it gave you the opportunity to get the education you did?
Yeah, college bowling is something that most people don't know about, and they don't know that you could get a scholarship in bowling, and you don't have to stay to an in-state school to get that kind of money. For me, it allowed me to finish all of my degrees in the 5 years and still get paid to do it. And I mean, for me, obviously, it helped me move on to my future job, but bowling is a good structure. Any sport, really, is a good structure to have. You have your immediate team if you go out of state, you have your immediate family, and you have somebody that is looking to you to make sure you do your work. And it's a great way to get into college, get into a different atmosphere, being a little bit more independent, but still having some great friends.
Well, now let's take a look at your teammates here. A lot of strikes on the board here early in game number 4. what advice do you have for them? I know there's obviously some people have to step up now in your absence, and then some newcomers are going to come in. But what can you offer to those stepping up, and what advice do you have for those just who are new to the program?
It's really just learn. Be open to learning. I mean, bowling is a constantly changing game. And so it's really learn from your teammates, respect them, and voice your opinion. Have an opinion. Just go out and have some fun. Really, bowling should be fun. You should not be worried all the time about bowling well. If you're relaxed, you're going to do better. And so any incoming person just needs to learn to relax, learn to throw the ball, and they'll be fine.
All right, folks, for those of you just joining us, this is Matt Canizaro and USBC's Emily Troutman here at Huntsville Lanes in Huntsville, Texas, day 2 of the Track Cat Clash. And we are watching right now Emily's alma mater, Arkansas State, take on St. Francis of New York. And to our right, Vanderbilt and Tulane. So Emily will be with us through hopefully the rest of this game. And we'll have one more game after this for today's team competition. And we'll break to tomorrow's bracket play, the exciting best of 7 Baker format. So, but while we have you here, tell us a little bit about this Arkansas State team and who we're seeing and what's going on with them.
Let's see. The third person up is going to be Kaylin. She is a sophomore from New York. Last year she was more, she sat the bench a little bit more than she is now. But as you can see, she's throwing the ball fantastic. She's really starting to pick up her game. And that's what I was saying earlier, just learn. You got to take the time to learn and improve your game to the next level. Rachel Giddings is stepping up next. She is a Team USA member right now, Junior Team USA. Fantastic bowler. She, again, is one of those with a lot of energy, a lot of excitement going on. Actually, over here, Vanderbilt is bowling fantastic. The lefty, like we were talking about earlier, is about to step up for a possible fourth strike in a row.
Yep, there's Amanda Fry up on lane 12 right now. Throwing a lot of strikes so far today.
Yep, she's throwing the ball awesome. There she goes. That, yeah, their coach was saying that energy is always there, which is awesome.
And
I don't
she's
know
just
how
a
she does
freshman.
it. Yeah.
Long way to go in her career.
Exactly. I mean, this is definitely a pattern that plays the outside. So if you enjoy that outside line, this is definitely your kind of shot.
Well, this pattern 38 feet, so it's kind of medium. You'd expect them to be a little bit further in, but with the amount of traffic today, there's a lot of moving around going on.
Yeah, the balls are, I mean, I've seen, at least in our team, ball down a couple times just because their balls are just snapping. And nothing you can do about that but either move in and try and find some oil or ball down.
Well, women's bowling a little bit different. You know, a lot of players tend to play in the same general area, a little bit straighter. So they're going to break down the outside part of the lane a little bit quicker, and they're going to migrate. For the right-handers, they're going to move left.
Yep. Yep, they're slowly inching in there. But it really all depends on who's been on the pair before. And there's a wide variety of teams here, wide variety of skill levels. So you really don't know what the shot actually looks like lane to lane.
Yeah, definitely a lot of traffic so far today. Again, this is game 4 of 5. And we have some standings here, so we'll take a look at that in 1 second. Vanderbilt still on top, and they're adding to their lead, 330 pins ahead of Nebraska. So if you walked in here just knowing a little bit about college bowling, those are probably the 2 top teams you'd expect to be at the top of the standings. But Sam Houston State not far behind in 3rd place. Arkansas State 3-5 on the weekend, struggling a little bit there in the matches.
Oh man!
But in 4th place, 426 pins behind Vanderbilt. Wisconsin Whitewater started the day in the lead, and they are struggling. They shot 864 last game, and they're in 5th right now. Followed by Long Island, Valparaiso, Monmouth, Stephen F. Austin in 9th, St. Francis College in 10th, Louisiana Tech University of Alabama, Birmingham, Texas Southern, Prairie View, Tulane, and Grambling State still without a win this weekend. But definitely looking
early.
around,
There's still some time.
I think the skill level is up a little bit from this time last year. I know some teams seem to have come a long way. We saw some house balls and house shoes even last year.
Yeah, there's definitely a wide variety. But, I mean, you always have to start somewhere. New teams have to start somewhere. So it's really just a matter of working with your bowlers, good coaching. I mean, you can see just some teams in general, like Tulane here, is bowling pretty well. I mean, they're throwing the ball a lot better than they did last year, and that's an atonement to their coach.
Yep, we talked about their coach earlier, a member of Team England, adult and junior, Haley Viets. She bowled at Weber International, so she's certainly training down there at the Kegel Center with that team and leading them to a national championship. So she's just in her second year again, like you said. You have to start somewhere, build from the bottom up.
Yep.
And they picked up a nice win last game against Stephen F. Austin, kind of
Awesome.
one of the local favorites almost. So yeah, it's all a building process, and I'm sure we'll see them continue to improve, just as many of these other programs have from the time they were established.
Exactly. I mean, just over the years that I was bowling, the schools have just gotten so much better. They're throwing the ball so much nicer. A lot, like you're saying, some house shoes, house balls. They just walk in and grab whatever's on the rack. But now they're starting to understand more lane play, more ball that you need in your hand at the time. It's getting better.
I think just the opportunity to have bowling be that sport that's added at many schools, that's a huge opportunity for so many of these ladies to come out of high school and have something.
Yep.
You know, they might not be the most athletic all around, and then they have an opportunity to try something different that ends up being a life-changing experience like it is for most of us.
Yep, bowling's definitely a good sport to add for some schools because it's cheap. I mean, you don't have to build lanes. You can go to a local bowling alley. And with the whole Title IX stuff, it's definitely a simple choice.
A lot of strikes happening on our two featured players here in front of us. Amanda Fry back up on the approach, looking for 5 in a row here in game number 4 for the Commodores. She leaves a 9-pin. Throws it great.
Those hurt.
Doesn't get rewarded.
Yep, Sarah Loker over here is on front 4 as well. Not a bad ball. Yep, hit a little weak. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of balls just sitting around. Look around, you'll see probably 20 balls within sight.
We talked to Dayton a little bit yesterday about the other things that we see here. There's a lot of parents who come in from all over the country, very supportive of the athletes, and they're here. They're standing on chairs, building contraptions so they can see what's going on. And then, of course, it looks like Sam's Club in here as far as snacks and beverages and the amount of energy that it takes to go through an 8-hour day like this. Can you talk a little bit about that and kind of what it takes to be able to perform through a day?
It takes some time. I mean, the first tournament, your feet are killing you. You're trying anything to find a way to get off of them by the end of the day. It just takes practice. It's more of an endurance thing. I mean, people talk about bowling not being a sport or whatever and it not needing endurance, but you try standing for 6 hours bowling and having this kind of level of energy that entire time.
Well, now especially here, there's only 2 chairs in each settee area, so.
Yep, and most teams try not to use them. It's usually maybe a coach trying to write down scores or something like that. Most players usually try and stand and back their team up as much as possible. I mean, you're talking about parents. My dad always brought a folding ladder chair. He bought one at Walmart and stuck it in his car, and every time he went somewhere, it always went with him just because it gets packed with all the parents, and you got to find a way to get up height.
There's not a lot of team bowling opportunities anymore once you're out of college. But as far as being part of a team, and if it happens to not be your day and you're the one struggling, I mean, what do you do? How do you mentally prepare yourself to not bring down the rest of the team, or how do they bring you up?
It's more really how they bring you up. I mean, you have to understand, you have to know that your team's behind you. I mean, everybody has a bad day, and they have to realize that. And if you're having a bad day, you just you got to shake it off and hope that your teammate, and know that your teammate is coming in and is going to do well. And you have to support them. I mean, that's a maturity thing. I mean, again, with the whole freshman, you have to understand that is you're not going to bowl all the time. Not everybody's perfect all the time. So just realize that you have a team behind you that's going to support you no matter what.
Well, we're going to take a look at the scoreboards here in just a couple of minutes. Vanderbilt building a nice lead over Tulane. And Arkansas State holding strong over St. Francis. So we'll have those updates here in a minute. But while we have the opportunity, I mean, you're sitting here watching. You were part of this for 5 years. What do you miss the most?
I think it's the team bowling. I mean, I only started bowling when I was in college, really, or in high school, and I've only done team stuff. I was a soccer player, so team is really what's in my blood. I'm not a big individual, so I miss the team. I miss the backup. I mean, they become your best friends. You live with them; they're your family. So you just that's what you miss, really. Miss that constant support, especially if you're an out-of-state student. I mean, personally, our team is all out-of-state. We're all from all over the country. So you have to form a family with your team. You're with them so often that you really have to learn to get along. Which can always be a challenge with this many girls.
Let's take a quick look up at the scoreboard. We saw Jessica Ernest now. She struggled earlier today. And now she's got the hot hand for the Commodores with a 4-bagger as they build their lead over Tulane.
Vandy's holding strong there.
All right, Amanda Fry's going to step back up on the approach. Try to continue striking here for Vanderbilt. I can't imagine anybody else being even close to her in the individual side of this, but that's something that we really don't talk about. It's all about the team here, of course, despite handing out all tournament team honors, MVP honors. But as far as I can see, far and away, she's got the hot hand today.
Oh, she is throwing the ball very consistent, hitting her line. I mean, yeah, usually people actually don't know that they're on all-tournament team. You don't really focus on it. It's just something that happens, and it's great when it happens, but every player's main focus is the tournament win. And that's really what this format does, is forms it as a team. It's a team that wins. Individuals aren't really a big factor. But it can't hurt to have somebody who's throwing it that well, that often. So do you have every team that comes on these pairs at least once?
There's some I don't believe we've seen yet. Let's see. We saw Sam Houston only yesterday afternoon, real quick, for one Baker match.
How many teams are here today?
16 teams here this year.
Wow.
So we've had a look at everybody, some more than others. We're going to see Valparaiso for the third time here in a couple of minutes.
Awesome.
Just kind of how it worked out. And then tomorrow, the top matches, the top half of the bracket will be what we'll be watching. So tomorrow should be, I would think, the really exciting part of it, as it all comes down to the championship presentation. So now that your 5-year career is over, what's life like after college bowling?
I have to get up every morning now. When I was in class, it was more of a decide if I want to go or not, but now I definitely have to make it to work on time. Love my job, though. I mean, I get to study bowling every day. Who wouldn't want to do that? So.
Well, now how did your time at Arkansas State, how did you land at USBC? I mean, how did that all work out?
Really, it was a couple of years ago at my at the home tournament we had. Kim Terrell, she came up and was passing out flyers for the ITRC, and one of the flyers said the science of bowling, and I was so excited. I ran to my assistant coach. I was like, oh my gosh, I could do this, and she's like, well, go talk to her. I'm like, I can't talk to Kim. She's so good. How could I talk to her? But Kim was such a sweetheart with it, and she really didn't even know who I was, but she put her name out for me. And a couple years later, I landed the internship. And then that's where I was last summer, and they offered me a job at the end of it. So when I graduated in May, drove to Texas, and where I've been ever since.
The ITRC, the International Training and Research Center, the home of Team USA, is where all the testing in the sport of bowling, bowling balls, bowling pins, lane oil, everything, you name it, happens. That's back behind the scenes where you guys are.
Yep, behind that wall.
And Kim and Rod Ross doing the coaching for Team USA in that one-of-a-kind facility.
It's a fantastic facility. They have so much new gadgets and great ways of looking at a person's game.
And, of course, it's not just for Team USA. Anybody can go to the ITRC and get some coaching and some training. Just have to give them a call, stop by, check out the rates. And a lot of locals come there and practice and get tips and take advantage of all that great technology right in their backyard in Arlington. And you can't really find a better city.
No, it's a fantastic location. I mean, yeah, you see people out there all the time on the lanes getting help from Kim or Brian or Rod, and really just working on their game.
You bring the family out, spend the weekend, go to Six Flags, go to Rangers games, check out the Cowboys, get some coaching, the Hall of Fame.
Oh, the Hall of Fame is fantastic. I enjoyed it. I went in there and spent a couple hours in there one day. Just so much to look at, so much to learn, so much I didn't know. There was a line, though, on those lanes, those pair of lanes there in the Hall of Fame. I didn't get to bowl, though. Maybe next time.
So your former team here continues to strike, holding off St. Francis at this point at least. We'll take a look at the scoreboard. We're now through 7 frames. Time flies.
Doing pretty well.
A couple of doubles up there, so looking to make a move here in the foundation frames. Get back to the action now. Vanderbilt stopped striking, missing a couple spares there, but still well ahead of Tulane here. Once again, quick rundown of the standings. Vanderbilt on top, followed by Nebraska, Sam Houston State, Arkansas State, Wisconsin Whitewater, Long Island, Valparaiso, and Monmouth University in 8th place. A key goal at this event, you want to get in the top half of that bracket, have a shot at the championship.
It's definitely a good tournament when it's total pinfall rather than win-loss. The top teams prefer total pinfall, obviously, and want to be rewarded for playing well all day. because anybody can beat anybody at any given time. So win-loss is not always necessarily the best way to look at bowling as a whole. But that's why these tournaments that are total pinfall really show you who's at the top and who's bowling the best overall throughout the weekend.
Well, is it hard to stay focused at that point, though, if you're towards the bottom? I mean, the fact that this event, everybody makes the bracket, so everybody gets the bowl all the way through. But when you're falling behind and it's a long format, is it hard to stay up and stay focused?
I really think it's on the team's personal idea of what they want from the tournament. Are they looking to win it? I mean, the teams that are probably in the bottom half aren't looking to win the tournament. They're looking to win matches or for their personal scoring. So they might be focused on something else rather than the tournament win. I mean, the teams at the top are obviously looking at tournament win. They're not just focused on their game at all times. They're looking at other teams and seeing what they're scoring, especially when it's total pinfall. But it's really, I guess, on team to team what they're looking to do.
All right, Emily Troutman from USBC here, former Arkansas State standout, joining us in the booth now. As you bowl in these events, and perhaps you do encounter teams that are significantly good or even better than you, are you able to learn from the teams you're bowling against?
Yes. Every team has their specialty, I guess is what you could say. And each team provides something different that you can learn from. I mean, every loss, I mean, the loser learns more than the winner, is what they always say. But it's really on how they handle certain situations. I mean, if both teams are top teams, it's not really on how well you throw the ball, it's on how well you deal with bad situations. If you miss a spare, do you come back from it? Things like that. It's more of the mental game at that point and how teams handle it.
So what is the specialty for Arkansas State?
No clue. I guess really we have a very, I don't know, we have a very solid game. We all throw the ball really well, and that's based off of our coach here. I mean, that's what we work on at practice is the fundamentals. Walk straight, swing straight, throw straight. I mean, so for that, we can always back up ourselves with a good ball. I mean, if they fall down, they fall down. If they don't, they don't. But that's not really anything we have under control for ourselves. It's really, if you throw the ball well, hopefully you'll come out on top.
Well, right now, it looks like Vanderbilt pulling ahead overall. Still one big game left after this, but a little bit tighter between 2 through 5. So Arkansas State striking it up here in game number 4. Only 426 pins out of the lead, only 100 out of second. So.
Yep. Right now it's looking at second is where we're focusing on. I mean, Vanderbilt, they're fantastic at if you miss a spare, coming back and having your team behind you and knowing that next time they let it go and move on. That was one thing I've always admired about them. They seem to be able to leave that last frame behind and move on.
Now, have you had a chance to talk to your former teammates, and is there a little bit of extra motivation after last year's runner-up finish to go ahead and finish it off this year?
We didn't finish runner-up last year. We got 5th. We were ranked first going in, but
for this event?
Oh, this event. I was talking about nationals.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I mean, it's really more of a, because the team really is very similar to last year. There's only one freshman that came in, and then obviously the 2 seniors left. So it's the core is very similar from last year. I mean, every person who's bowling right now bowled last year on the team. So, yeah, obviously they want to win. They've, so far this year, have had 2 second-place finishes. It's just that final game is winning that final match. So that is the main focus here.
Well, now you mentioned 5th place at Nationals. That's pretty significant as well.
It was. I mean, we obviously wanted to do better. We thought we would do better. But, again, it's a matter of luck at that point. So Nationals is really just a lot of luck. It's Baker games, and only 5 of them. So, yeah. Bowling should be, again, more over a long period of time, but if you're going at nationals, it's hard to do to keep the momentum.
Well, certainly this event here, the Cat Klash in Huntsville, Texas, will test your endurance
Oh, yeah.
And your stamina and just really your mental game, just the format over the 3 days, 3 different formats.
Staying focused for 6 games or 5 games a day, where it's not bam, bam, bam. It's 5 games over 6 hours.
Well, Arkansas State looking very focused right now. A lot of strikes on the board.
They're doing well.
That one didn't sound so good.
Went a little high there.
So now that college bowling's over for you, what's down the road in the bowling frontier?
Not really sure. I like the team idea of bowling, so individually, I'm not really sure. I'm gonna bowl league. I mean, I bowl the interdepartmental one we have at work, but I don't know. I've never been a bowling for money either person, so
Well,
I enjoy it here and there.
There's certainly some money to be won out there, and there's going to be some money to be won out in Reno this year. I imagine we'll probably see you for the Open and Women's Championships.
Yep. I'm not sure about the women's with the whole handicap part, but yeah, I love the team aspect. So I was hoping maybe some of my past teammates and me can get together and we can go out there.
Well, a lot of great opportunities coming up out there in Reno this year, starting in March. The Open Championships kicks off at the National Bowling Stadium. The Women's Championships will follow suit about a month later across town at the Reno Sparks Convention Center. And 3 different side events will be taking place inside the venue. So something for everybody. There is even a Baker team format event.
Wow, I did not know that.
The Who's Got the Look Baker Bonanza presented by 900 Global. So you'll have the opportunity to go out there, 3 of you, and you'll each bowl 2 frames each game, or 3 frames, and then decide who has the best look, and is going to bowl the 10th frame for your
so you
team.
can decide at the end?
So whoever's got the best
That's
look
awesome.
is your 10th frame person. Everybody has to bowl a 10th frame once, but that kind of puts a little more of the team atmosphere into the Open Championship. So you have the main event upstairs, come downstairs to the special showcase lanes, bowl in that. There's another 2-game event for individuals, and then the traditional Bowlers Journal Championships with singles and doubles. So, I mean, you could spend a couple days out there in Reno. You could bowl 5 different tournaments, really.
Yeah. That's actually what I was planning on doing, is get it all done in one big swoop and have a fantastic weekend out in Reno. I've heard there's a lot to do out there, and last time I went, I wasn't 21 yet, so this time it could be a lot more enjoyable as far as outside of bowling.
Well, certainly a lot to do in Reno, a lot to see. A lot of people have been out there before but don't realize that you get on the outskirts a little bit. There's all kinds of good things. There's a river walk right there to see. There's always something new. There's a new rock climbing wall in downtown.
Yeah, I saw that. Looks awesome. Like a lot of fun.
And just to point out, somebody pointed out in the chat room, brand new schedule at the Open Championships this year. Fresh oil for every squad. So a lot of people looking forward to that. New team shifts, 3 and 7 p.m. And for the first time ever, 2 different lane conditions.
Yeah,
one
I saw
for team,
that.
one for doubles and singles. So we're really going to test your versatility out there at the Open Championships this year.
That's going to be awesome to see. I like the fresh oil. That's always nice to see. And do you know when the patterns come out?
Our plan usually is to announce the patterns the week of the tournament start. So we'll have that right around February 27th-ish, somewhere that week. We're going to have a live kickoff show on Bowl TV, actually, right here.
Oh, awesome.
And we'll unveil the pattern, and we'll give some experts on to come talk about it, what they think, how they would plan to attack those patterns. Of course, we'll have one for team, one for doubles, singles. The team pattern you'll be able to practice on. It'll be available downstairs at the showcase lane, so you can come out, book the lanes with your team, either with or without some coaching assistance, and develop a game plan to see what balls are going to work. And then if you want to see the doubles and singles pattern, practice on that, you can do so at the Bowlers Journal Championships. So we'll have the same pattern out there, so you get to compete in that event and get to practice at the same time.
That's awesome. There's a lot available. A lot to do. It'd be good to bowl on those patterns on those lanes, on the actual lane surface.
A lot of strikes being thrown here by your former teammates. I have a feeling that, trying to see who's up now, but
Amanda's up right now.
Amanda's up working on a string. She's got a 6 in a row. It's like 7, so you might want to go sign her up real quick before somebody else takes her. I bet the mood a little bit lighter in the bowling circle now with all those strikes on the board.
Yes, yes. It always gets easier to laugh.
Vanderbilt is cruising to a win over Tulane to our right, but Arkansas State's really making up some pins. 234 game for Amanda.
Yep, great game.
She finishes with 8 strikes. And they're already at 1,000 with 4 bowlers to go. So it's a huge game. Vanderbilt putting up the big numbers today. 11-16, 11-56, and 10-78. And it looks
They're
like
bowling very well.
Sam Houston with the only other 1,100. That was in game 1.
Yep, hopefully we'll hit 1,100 here and try to make up a little bit of pins.
So Arkansas State already with their highest game of the day, and it's only the beginning of the 10th frame. So definitely a way to come on strong at the end, save some of that energy. Amanda Fry for Vanderbilt with a double, so she's back to striking, possible 247. She's got to be feeling pretty good about her performance today.
Oh, yeah. Any frame that's not a strike is a 9 count, so it's, in theory, probably all 7 pins. Probably great balls that just didn't happen to go our way all the way. Yep, she's bowling very well. Yeah, in theory, I guess we could probably hit 1,200 if they keep it up.
Everything going very well for your former teammates here in game 4. Showing off for the cameras. A little bit about your former coach there. I mean, he's got a pretty good resume of his own. He bowled at Nebraska under Bill Straub, and he was the coach of the year last season. You know, and obviously learned a lot in his time at Nebraska. Coach there as well. Anytime you can learn from a coach of that caliber and be a part of that program, you know, obviously that's certainly going to help this team, and it's helping them improve very quickly.
Oh yes. Yep, he came in a couple years ago and immediately started working on your person's game and working on getting better fundamentally. And obviously that has taken our team from being 6, 7 in the nation to right now they're ranked 2. So he's really worked hard on bringing up everybody's individual game.
Arkansas State 3-5 on the weekend so far, but as the coach just said, this one's going to be a big one. Already at 1,100, picking up some serious pins on Vanderbilt.
Yeah, from what I hear from the girls, 4 of the 5 losses were 10 pins or less, and then we lost to Vanderbilt just the game before this by 60. But yeah, it hurts when it's only 10 pins. Really does.
Well, I think the bracket play certainly changes the dynamics of the event a little bit. If I can even remember, you know, back in college when a lot of the events were just however many games, 9, 10 team games, and that was it. Whoever had the most pins when it was over, that was it. It was done. Or, you know, pretty close to that format. Some of them, you bowl 6 or 7 team games the first day, and some Bakers the next day, total pins, it's over. So you really don't have that second chance with the bracket. Which I guess if you win the bracket, it's good. If you don't,
yeah,
you know, it can go either way.
it's definitely interesting. I mean, a team like Vanderbilt, when they go into tomorrow, all the pins that they've had before over everybody just go away. And so that's unfortunate. But, again, that's how Nationals is. I mean, you can be leading the day where everybody gets ranked by a couple hundred. It's not going to matter your next day because it's just a one-on-one match. So all these tournaments are made to get you ready for Nationals and ready for that kind of atmosphere. Because, I mean, early on, I remember the first couple of years, that wasn't a rule. It's a steadfast rule now that the last day has to be Bakers and it has to be a bracket. But before, it could have been, we did team games in a bracket form. Can't quite remember, but yeah, it was definitely not always Baker. But there's a big emphasis on Baker now, since that's all Nationals. Yeah, Amanda Fry's doing awesome. Double before the 10th. Oh, yeah, just jinxed her. But it's a solid 8 pin. Can't be a bad shot.
Arkansas State certainly cruised to the win here. Possibly not the 10th frame they were hoping for here, but nice little washout pickup there.
Yeah.
To get her in the 250s now.
Can't hurt to have a low game of 211. Make up a couple pins on Vanderbilt here. Though they're finishing pretty strong.
11:56 ties for the high game of the day. Take a look at the scoreboard while we have a chance. Not a bad effort. And Amanda Fry finishes with 226, her low game of the day for the Commodores. And it's a 9:48 for St. Francis. Watch Vanderbilt and Tulane finish things off here. We'll take a look at the scoreboard here in just a minute too. Game 4, almost in the books. Matt Canizaro and Emily Troutman from USBC. Talking bowling here at the Cat Klash in Huntsville, Texas.
Who do you have up next on these lanes?
All right, coming up next on 9 and 10, we'll have Wisconsin Whitewater and Long Island.
Alrighty.
And on 11 and 12, Stephen F. Austin and Valparaiso. So
that could be a pretty good match. Both teams are pretty equal.
We haven't heard as much singing today as we did yesterday. Maybe everybody's tired.
Yeah, long first day. Well, I mean, it's after Thanksgiving break, so everybody's still a little getting back into school zone, getting ready for finals.
Well, we're one game away from determining our seeding for tomorrow's bracket. Do you think anybody's going to catch Vanderbilt?
It could be tough. I'm not really sure how Nebraska's bowled that one, or Sam Houston did. But
Well, 330 pins, a big deficit to make up.
oh yes, definitely. If anybody gets close, it's not. I don't think they'll take them over it. They're going to shoot high 900s probably this game. So some people will make up a couple pins, but they're going to have to shoot lights out next game for it to even be close.
Pretty good crowd on hand today.
Yep, people got off work and were able to come. It's hard to get a crowd on Fridays, but
Pretty much all the events you guys bowled are 3 days. Is that how that works?
yep, first day is always Baker, second day is always team, and third day is brackets with Baker again. They're pretty set in their schedule. The brackets can be a variable depending on how they're run. You can have it where only top 4 can win, or you can have it where only top 4 can stay top 4. It's really all depending on the host team and how they want to run it. Some of the parents got really creative here. I'm looking around and
So they're building all kinds of contraptions.
yeah. Very creative.
See, we get the prime seating. They give us our own little platform here in the middle of the bowling center, so
I like this.
guaranteed seating. Front row for the championship tomorrow afternoon. We'll get started tomorrow at 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern with best of 7 bracket matches. So we'll get right into the excitement.
Yeah, those are going to be very interesting because it's game to game. Like the first day is always total pinfall of the bracket or of the Bakers, but here it's game to game, ball to ball. Definitely very exciting. A lot can happen.
As of right now, we're just wrapping up game number 4 here. Out of 5, Vanderbilt on top, Nebraska, Sam Houston, Arkansas State, Wisconsin Whitewater rounding out the top 5. We'll have the latest standings for you in just a few minutes. After this game wraps up, everything gets tallied. Teams will move lanes for the last time today, and we'll have the final standings heading into the last game of the afternoon.
Yep, Vandy wrapping it up really strong here. So far, a great 10th frame.
Just from looking around as we get later in the format here and things are winding down, some of the bowlers we haven't seen bowl much over the weekend are getting an opportunity to get in there now. Throw some balls and get some experience here.
Yep, coaches like to, if they have a fill shot or a game where they're not really worried about, I mean, last game it's either you have the room to make up or you don't. So if you aren't able to make up the total difference, you can always definitely give some people experience, and experience is key. on making clean shots and repeating shots and things like that.
Well, Tulane finishes with 780 this game, and Jessica Ernest going to wrap things up for Vanderbilt. She's working on a double, possible 235 game.
Good shot.
Good shot leaves the 10-pin. Commodores can't imagine what they're talking about at this point. They're going to have about a 200-pin lead at least, if not more, going into the last game.
Yep. Well, I mean, if this was our team, we'd be talking about dinner right now. What's for dinner?
There was actually a lot of talk earlier. We had Texas Southern over here about 2 games ago, and one of the girls was already, ready to go to dinner and trying to get her dad to buy her dinner. She throws a strike here and a strike there, and yeah, definitely a long, tiring day.
Yep, we were notorious for telling Coach that if we did this or we did that, then we could go to certain places for dinner. Food is a big motivator for college students, I can tell you that.
So as we get ready to wrap up here, what was that favorite place for the Arkansas State team after a tournament?
P.F. Chang's or Cheesecake Factory or something like that.
Big spenders.
Yep. Well, I mean, if you're at a tournament, might as well go hard. Because there you get late night snacks. They give you a lot of food, so you always have more.
See, back in the day, we ended up at Golden Corral or White Castle or some high-class joint like that to make all the big dogs happy after a long weekend. And
yep.
And that is that, 10-19 for Vanderbilt. So Arkansas State picks up about 140 pins. Heading into the last game, still a long way to go. I'd like to thank our guest, Emily Troutman, former Arkansas State standout, for joining us for the last hour. Much appreciated for giving me somebody to talk to.
No problem, no problem.
And I guess we'll see you back at headquarters on Monday, and then in Reno, you already promised, for the Open and Women's Championships. So everybody check her out on bull.com, see how she does.
Alrighty.
All right, thank you.
No problem, thank you.
All right, that's going to do it for right now. We got one more game to go, so we're going to take a few minutes here to let the teams move lanes and settle. And the ones that are still finishing are going to finish up, and we'll be right back with you in a few minutes, so stay tuned. Game 5, final game of the day, coming right up. Hello, everybody. We appreciate you sticking with us. This is Matt Canizaro from USBC, live from the Track Cat Clash in Huntsville, Texas. We're about to start game number 5 of 5 for today's traditional team competition. After this game, total pinfall for the last 2 days will determine the seedings for tomorrow's best of 7 Baker bracket competition. So stay tuned. Game 5 just about to get underway. We'll have some updated standings here in a few minutes. In this final game, we're going to see Wisconsin Whitewater take on Long Island University and Stephen F. Austin against Valparaiso. So it should be an exciting finish to a long day already. 20 Baker games yesterday, 5 4-game matches, and then 5 traditional team games today. So a lot of traffic, a lot of pinfall, and after this game, it'll all be over till everybody gets to relax and get seated for bracket play. So stay tuned. And here comes game number 5. All right, frame number 1 underway, and I think we just had somebody cheer jacked. I think one of the teams borrowed a cheer from the University of Alabama that we've been talking about for a couple of days here and used it for their own. So I don't know. More on that later. Right now, Wisconsin Whitewater, Long Island, Stephen F. Austin, and Valparaiso. We were joined earlier by Emily Troutman, former player for Arkansas State. She now works for USBC. She was able to give us a lot of insight into college bowling life and life after college bowling. So we appreciate her being on with us. Yesterday we talked to Dana Galgansky from Sam Houston State. She led the Bearcats to the title here last year at this event and is 2 weeks away from graduating. She's no longer bowling on the team, but she was also able to offer some insight into the whole college bowling experience. Of course, different than my own many years ago. So we appreciate those two joining us. And hopefully there'll be some more interesting folks in the building tomorrow to come on and share and talk about what we're seeing here at the Cat Clash. His teams are bowling on a 38-foot pattern this weekend. They call it the 2012 NCAA number 2 modified. And a lot of traffic so far today. Once again, this is game number 5. No brake, no oil. And as is the case in women's bowling, traditionally, a lot of the players tend to play a little bit straighter and all similar lines, so the lanes are going to break down a little bit different than, say, at a men's event. But no matter what, there's still constant moves that need to be made. A lot of bowling balls need to be swapped out. And luckily, extra players on hand in case a call needs to be made to the bullpen. So that's what team bowling is all about. All right, frame 1 in the books. Wisconsin Whitewater clean with 3 strikes. Over Long Island, 2 opens and no strikes. Stephen F. Austin, 4 strikes. Of course, these teams just coming to these pairs of lanes, so they need some time to get acclimated and get comfortable. Make sure they have the right moves in mind. While we have the opportunity, let's go ahead and take a look at the current standings. Vanderbilt, 8-1 on the day, with a commanding lead. The Commodores up almost 300 pins on Arkansas State. So the Red Wolves with a big 11:56 in game 4. Tied for the highest game of the day, catapulted them into second place. Behind Vanderbilt, Nebraska is third. Another 100 pins back. Sam Houston State fourth. Wisconsin Whitewater in fifth place. Valparaiso sixth. Long Island University. Monmouth University, Stephen F. Austin in ninth. St. Francis College, Louisiana Tech. Alabama Birmingham in 12th. Texas Southern. Prairie View A&M, Tulane in 15th place, and Grambling State rounding out the field, 16th place. Sam Houston suffered its first loss, so tied with Vanderbilt at 8-1 as far as overall record for the weekend. But none of that matters. It's all about pinfall at this point and being seeded into the brackets for tomorrow. So Vanderbilt up by almost 300. Chances are there's no touching them. Arkansas State, pretty solid effort ahead of Nebraska. So I don't see our top 2 changing here in game 5, but you never know. Nebraska and Sam Houston only 12 pins apart. Wisconsin Whitewater not far behind. So the battle for the top 4 still going on here. We will see. Now, if I'm looking at the brackets correctly for tomorrow, there's a 2-tiered bracket format with only the top 8 teams still having a chance to actually win the Cat Clash. The bottom 8 teams battling in a separate bracket. As Emily Troutman alluded to earlier, the NCAA events, very unique formats. They're similar in the fact that they combine Baker and traditional games and all conclude with Baker brackets, but the breakdown of those brackets and how many teams can make them, and it's all up to the individual tournament directors. So we'll just keep an eye on what Brad Hagan has in mind here. He's the coach of the host team, Sam Houston State, and we'll have all that for you tomorrow after it's all said and done today. Once again, we'll go over the standings. On top, Vanderbilt. Second, Arkansas State. Nebraska in third. Sam Houston State, fourth. Wisconsin Whitewater in fifth. Valparaiso, sixth. Long Island University is seventh. Monmouth University is eighth. Ninth place, Stephen F. Austin. 10th, St. Francis. 11, Louisiana Tech. 12, University of Alabama, Birmingham. 13th, Texas Southern. 14th, Prairie View A&M. 15th, Tulane. And 16th, Grambling State. So Vanderbilt pretty much a lock for the top spots. Up almost 300 pins on Arkansas State, but we will see. Anything can happen here. Probably will not still be on the air when those scores are final, but we'll certainly post those on Facebook and Twitter. Make sure you find USBC on both of those sites, Sport of Bowling on Facebook, and like us, and make sure to get updated with all of the latest news from the bowling world. We'll post the final leaders from this event, and we'll be back on the air tomorrow morning. Question in the chat room, will we be streaming the ceremonies when it is over tomorrow? We will, of course, catch what we can. It all depends on what they have planned for the presentation. For sure, we'll be taking a picture and having a write-up on bowl.com either tomorrow or Monday. But we'll see what the day brings and what the situation allows based on our setup here. So we'll know more about that tomorrow when it's all over. We'll for sure be here through the end of the event, so we'll know who wins. We'll capture all of that here on Bowl TV. And then after that, we'll play it by ear. Even after 6 hours, the Valpo parents still very energetic and supportive of their team. After 3 frames, Whitewater with a slim lead over the Long Island Blackbirds.
Valpo! Let's go! Valpo! Let's go!
And it's Stephen F. Austin with a 15-pin lead over Valpo after 3. Right now, Vanderbilt and Arkansas State pulled pretty far ahead of the pack. Nebraska is third at 80-36. Sam Houston State is 12 back at 80-24. Wisconsin Whitewater a little bit further back at 79-47. And Valparaiso a significant distance behind Whitewater. So really right now, it's 5 teams ahead of the pack in a battle for third place. Nebraska certainly capable of a big game here in the finale. They have 100 pins to make up on Arkansas State. Top 7 definitely not in danger of getting knocked out of that top bracket. But I think it's great that no matter what happens all the way through, everybody gets a chance to experience that bracket competition. If nothing else, it's a learning experience. An opportunity to throw some shots under pressure. Question from the chat room, University of Alabama, Birmingham, currently 12th, total pinfall 69-56, so they're almost 1,500 pins behind Vanderbilt. And about 1,000 pins out of 4th place. All of our top teams are a good distance away from our featured pairs, so no idea what's happening the rest of the way. Do appreciate everybody trying to follow along here at the Cat Clash without the frequency of the scoreboard. Trying to keep track of all the scores and keep everybody informed. So 4 frames in, Wisconsin Whitewater, a slim lead over Long Island. And Valpo just ahead of Stephen F. Austin. However, the Lady Jacks anchor piling on some strikes. Big 3-bagger there for Long Island's leadoff bowler. Now it's Sonic Gray stepping up, looking for 3 of her own for Long Island. She leads the 4-7. So just about halfway through game 5 here, the last team game of the weekend here at the Cat Klash in Huntsville, Texas. Back to Baker tomorrow. Bracket play, best 4 out of 7 matches. Should make for an exciting day of competition. Get done a little bit early today. Everybody will get some rest. Energy level should be nice and high tomorrow. Big shot here for Stephen F. Austin. That was for the front 5. That was their anchor. I believe it's freshman Melanie Crawford. Long Island leadoff bowler, Mariah Hatfield, the senior, looking for 4 in a row here. Her team has pulled into the lead, and she got it. Long Island came into this game 7th. Moving up at least one spot, still a possibility. Whitewater up about 180 on the Blackbirds in the standings at this point, but say both teams pretty much a lock for the top 8. Five strikes in a row for Valpo. And they're pulling ahead here in game number 5. So Alvarez stepping up. That's 5 in a row. She started this game with a spare and then 5 consecutive strikes. And that's a 6th straight for the Crusaders. And once this event concludes tomorrow afternoon, we'll put together a wrap-up story of the finals and the final individuals. We'll have that for you probably on Monday. So keep an eye on Facebook and bowl.com for that information. Later on, tomorrow, of course, we'll be live as we follow the march to the championship here at the Cat Klash at Huntsville Lanes. It's December Madness. Don't miss out. Take a quick look at the scoreboard. Stephen F. Austin and Valpo through 6. Get back in time to see Mariah Hatfield for Long Island University on the left, going for 5 in a row here. A couple of spares and a 4-bagger to start this game. Give her team a lead at the halfway point. We're on the back half of Game 5 here at the Cat Clash, and the pace is what it is. It's been a long day for these ladies. Battled through 5 team games. Still going strong. Alvarez up on lane 12 for Valpo. Looking for 6 in a row here. He mixes them up. Keeps her team in the lead here over Stephen F. Austin. In our other match, let's take a look up at the scoreboard. Wisconsin Whitewater and Long Island. Leadoff bowler for the Blackbirds, Mariah Hatfield. Solid game so far. Has her team in the lead. So we have a ball return. Somebody's trying to ice the Warhawks. There we go. Back to business. So once again, our standings, Vanderbilt on top by a bunch. Arkansas State second, Nebraska is third, Sam Houston State. Wisconsin Whitewater is fifth, Valparaiso sixth, Long Island University seventh, and Monmouth University rounding out the top 8. 16 teams in this field. Everybody will advance to bracket play tomorrow. Only the top 8 teams with a chance to actually win the title. We're at the tail end, the foundation frames of game number 5, as these teams will make their final pushes. Right now, Long Island over Wisconsin Whitewater, and Valpo over Stephen F. Austin. Strike there for Nicole Parkhurst for SFA. Big double for Isani Gray for Long Island. Her in their leadoff bowler, Hatfield, setting the pace here in the finale. But Wisconsin Whitewater not backing down. That's 4 consecutive team strikes. Big break there for Valpo for 7 in a row. She goes Brooklyn. Everybody cooperates. Our team well in the lead here in this final game. Probably not enough to get Valpo into the top 5, but surely doing their best to hold on to the 6th seed heading into tomorrow. All right, so we head into our final frame here, final 2 frames for Wisconsin and Long Island. There's what it looks like. Get back to the action, see if Hatfield can deliver for Long Island. Hatfield's run comes to an end. She leaves the washout after 6 in a row. Whitewater, though, leadoff bowler, 7 of her own. 3-6-10, spare, no problem. Good effort on the washout there. So as we wind down here, Vanderbilt in the number 1 spot heading into the last game. Arkansas State 2nd, Nebraska 3rd, Sam Houston State 4th, Wisconsin Whitewater 5th, and then it drops off considerably. 6th place Valparaiso, 7th Long Island, and another 200 pins back in 8th Monmouth University. 9th place knocking on the door, Stephen F. Austin. Got 50 behind Monmouth, so this game certainly means a lot. All right, Alvarez run comes to an end at 7. Our team 60 pins up. A nail biter on the left, Wisconsin and Long Island. Whitewater just looking at pinfall at this point to stay in the top 5. Shouldn't be a problem. Question in the chat room, how many pins between 8th and 12th place? So just over 500, so pretty good amount of distance between 8 and 12 at this point. But it's all brand new tomorrow. We're now in the final frame of the day. Still Long Island over Whitewater. And Valpo over Stephen F. Austin. Big shot there for the Warhawks. Seal with a big three-bagger for Valpo. The 10th frame is getting intense on both pairs. Got a tight match on our left. Valpo pulling away on the right. Great shot there for 4 in a row. One more strike gives her 230. She started the day with 230 as well. Whitewater striking like crazy here in the 10th frame, trying to pull away with this one. Taking a lead here after 2 bowlers. See if Sonic Gray has anything to say about that for Long Island. She's got the first strike in the 10th, looking for a double. She leaves the 6th pin. Both Whitewater bowlers so far this frame have doubled in the 10th. Game for Alvarez. She's in the 260s now for Valpo, leading that team here in game number 5. Take a look at the scoreboard now. For Valpo and Stephen F. Austin. Valpo's going to come away with this one. Solid effort there for Alvarez, 267. Back to the action there. Valpo has that game well in hand. And Whitewater, Big Ten frame to pull ahead. We're going to be done here in just a minute with 20 Baker games yesterday, 5 team games today. And when everything is tallied, total pinfall will determine the seeding for tomorrow's bracket play. The top 8 will be in one bracket, the bottom 8 in another. Everybody will be back for best of 7 matches. And I will be right here with you. Competition starts at 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central, so don't be late. We'll have all the pairings at that point, as well as probably the all-tournament team as well after today's 5-team game. So we look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow. We'll be done here in just a minute for today. Just a quick recap before we're done. Heading into this game, Vanderbilt on top, Arkansas State, Nebraska in 3rd, Sam Houston State in 4th, Wisconsin Whitewater 5th. Valparaiso a distant 6th, Long Island 7th, Monmouth a distant 8th. So top 7 pretty solid here. Stephen F. Austin was 9th coming into this game. Finishes with 9:07. With others still bowling, hard to know if that's going to be enough at this point to make the top 8. Valpo finishes with 990. Will stay in the top 6. And on our other pair, it's going to be Whitewater over Long Island for sure. Just waiting on the final bowlers to finish out to get those final numbers.
I'm going to protest next time we have to call you, just so you know.
Wisconsin Whitewater finishes with 992. That will be enough to take down Long Island.
That's not the key. There you go, Tyler.
We'll wait on our final shot of the afternoon here on our featured pairs. And there it goes. Final scores. There they have it. It's the end of competition here at the 2nd annual Track Cat Clash. Huntsville Lanes in Huntsville, Texas. This is Matt Canizar for USBC and Bowl TV. I'll be back with you tomorrow morning, as I mentioned. 9:30 Eastern, 8:30 Central. Best of 7 bracket play. All Baker, all excitement. You find it right here on youtube.com/BullTV. You find the link on Facebook and Twitter. And that's going to conclude today's coverage. I appreciate everybody stopping by and joining us today. And make sure to tell all your friends about it again tomorrow. And don't miss out. Everybody have a good evening.